All right, let's do another video on. Let's just talk about money. It's really easy to talk about, really, and it's a big topic, big area area of a topic to talk about. Anyways, let's just get into it. So I have a bit of a starting point. Well, the starting point is that kind of furthers this whole idea that I started or I started and stayed at level 0 or level 1 for a while. Now, I will tell you, so, around, I'd say, a certain age, 18, 19, my life started changing, kind of transitioning into an adult world. You know what I mean? Now, when I was younger, I wasn't hungry for money. I didn't see money dreams. You know what I mean? I didn't have money desires. It was to the point of where it was pushed and where it was recommended by everyone that money had some standing, but didn't have much standing. It was like, okay, one day I'm gonna have a house, a car, a wife that also has a degree and works, and she's gonna have her car, and we're gonna live in that house. And should she get pregnant at some point, we'll add a child to our house, and that was it. Really had no money dreams or anything. Now, I did have a bit of a desire to vacation. I like vacationing. But, that's easy. But most companies will even pay you 2 or 3 weeks of vacation pay. So they're pretty much recommending that you take a vacation every year. So you can take a vacation regardless. It's no issue with taking vacations. Now, that was not from me. That was just from the outside. That was basically recommended everywhere. School, at the home, everywhere. They always recommended, that kind of idea of money. Now, I had no big dreams. Oh man, I want to be in a Mercedes. I want to be in a Lamborghini. I never had anything like that. I just never occurred to me. Now, I hit 18, 19 and I go, dude, my world is at 0. It's totally empty. And I have no ambitions, even if it's greedy. I have no greedy ambitions out there. Now, granted, the limit of money that I saw, right? Like, I had a job when I was 15 years old. I had another job when I was 16. So I was earning money, a little bit of money. So I knew, like, I wouldn't say I was stingy. I was just careful with money. You know what I mean? I was careful with it. And I wasn't cheap or anything, but I was very specific with how I spent my money. It had to be to a worthy cause. You know what I mean? Like it had to be for lunch. You know what I mean? It had to be something significant. It had to be for a gym membership. You know what I mean? It had to be for clothes. So, but I didn't spend money anywhere else. So I was okay. So, I had an idea of how I spent my money. How I wanted to spend money, or school supplies, getting a binder, getting a backpack, stuff like that too, And I was taking care of my own money, or my own stuff, my own expenses. So I'm about 18, 19 now. I have a job where I'm earning significantly more than what I earned as a junior, or whatever you want to call it. And now I'm pushing myself to become greedy. I want to crave and I want to have big money dreams. And I'll tell you why. Because I believed that whenever I wanted something and worked towards something, that I would get it. So in my mind, it was, okay, let's make big money dreams a reality first. Let's create a desire. Let there be a desire and a hunger for it, and I'll meet the expectations. That's how I thought of it. I thought I was gonna get rich, big time. When I moved out for a year because I wanted to have my own mentality. I didn't want other influences telling me what to do and what is what. So I moved out and got my own apartment, and I wanted to be away from everybody. When I was there, it was like I was away from the world. It was a 16th floor, by the way. And the balcony opened to like the lake and the distance, the downtown skyline with the CN Tower and everything. You could see it right from the balcony. And I felt like I was just away from everybody. To be honest, it felt absolutely great. Like, I felt really good. Like, I used to have an issue as around, I think, age 15. This issue began. And that's when I had my growth spurt. And this issue began where I was constantly having nightmares. I was having nightmares all the time. to the point that it just made me feel negative all the time. I was always in a bad mood. Now, when I moved out, the nightmares stopped, which was really odd. But in about 3 or 4 weeks, the nightmares disintegrated. I didn't have nightmares for the entire time I stayed at that apartment. I still had some negativity, but it was more extroverted versus introvert. I became naturally extroverted. With no family around and living by myself, what happened was that I just became lonely, living by myself with having nobody around me, no pets, no nothing. And I became lonely, and that loneliness led to a desire to have people around me. And in turn, these new people felt like they were closer to me than my family that I live with. They felt like I was almost like family or friends, in that for that 1 year. At the end of the year, I couldn't explain it. My life had changed prior to moving into there, and I didn't know what caused that change in my life. I didn't understand it, but it was like as if, because I had been a very lazy and childlike person. So for me to become an adult, it was like, it just felt unnatural. You know what I mean? I just didn't feel comfortable and relaxed and like a hermit anymore. So I was like, like, holy man, what do I do now? You know what I mean? Like, why can't I go back? So I tried to go back to my old life. I couldn't. No matter how much I tried, I couldn't become the person I was prior to that time. It's like I already passed some kind of level of growth or level or whatever of maturity maybe. But I just couldn't go back to it no matter how much I tried. So I just went forward with it. You know what I mean? That whole bunny mentality kicked in, because the thing is that bunnies and rabbits, they move alone and they feel like they're smart and cute enough to get whatever they want. You know what I mean? I started from the bunny, man. I didn't start. Now, I could have started from a snake, but it's just that I can't do the whole snake thing. I mean, I'd rather eat a snake. I'd rather kill and eat a snake before I become a snake. You know what I mean? But, started from the whole rabbit thing, and then it went on. But the thing is that I tried to bring money into my life, and I couldn't. I just couldn't bring money into my life. I told myself that I will be rich and blah blah blah. One day, you know what I mean. I'm gonna make it happen. I mean, life just turns in the least of the ways you expected. I mean, after that bank robbery, I thought my life was gonna be over, and it got way worse. After I robbed that bank, my life got way worse. But at the same time, it's like I was opening a door into finding knowledge that I never paid attention to. And now I have all this knowledge, including about myself. And as the years went on, it was like I was learning more and more and going, whoa, does this really exist? To the point that eventually, this is what I believe. Just prior to that getting out of that shell at the end of December, prior to that, I had become in touch with my subconscious. You know what I mean? I was connecting myself to myself. Subconsciously, I always knew who I was. I always knew what was going on around me. But consciously, it was a different situation. You know what I mean? Even though within your subconscious part, so you don't know it, but on the surface, you are hesitant or whatever the case is. So it's almost like they started meeting. It's almost like my subconscious and my conscious and all that pain and all that misery and all that, in that situation of thinking I may never have a future life or what's gonna happen in my life, am I ever gonna find this or that, and my conscious and my subconscious just started meeting. You know what I mean? And then one day at the end of that December, I'm like, I look up and I go, it's finally happened. It's finally happened. I mean, I just now I'll tell you, I do find women attractive, but I find women attractive. I have no issue with being friendly towards women, but I don't have as much of a sexual desire anymore. Before it was the opposite. I didn't used to talk to any women. I didn't nothing like that. But when I would see hot women, I would get like I really wanted to get in there. Just to be honest, on that day it was like it all just finished. I just didn't have this stupid desire anymore. If I really wanted to get with a woman, I could, and I could have a relationship with her for a short amount of time or something. But that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? And I'm so much happier with that. When you reflect on your history, let's say your most successful days, You know, if I look back on my most successful days, and I look back at them and I went, and I'm talking about just the time period where it was the most successful. I look back at them and I went, dude, I had everything. I was powerful, and whatnot. The only problem was that I was living in the shadows and I could never settle in one area. I always had to be on the move. I constantly had to run away and run away and run away to a new place, a new place, a new place. And then after a long time, I could come back to that place if anybody didn't remember me. You know what I mean? Trying to change my appearance around, thinking that might, you know, if I'll look different with different kind of hairstyles and faces, changing my appearance around and things like that. And living a life like that, I think after so long, I mean, I did enjoy it. I definitely enjoyed that life. And I had a much higher status of class and everything. But at some point, I must have realized, like, how long am I going to do this for? You know, I see everybody on this planet, everybody's settling, everybody has a life, everybody has a presence. How much longer am I gonna do this for? And I think it was, I think it was basically against, it wasn't even that whether my will was for it or not. It wasn't like I did it intentionally or I did it, but you know, it was like I was a child all of a sudden. You know what I mean? And it was genuine, you know, and it was only until recently that I really put things into perspective and I said, well, okay, oh wow. And I did make a conscious decision. I said, you know what, we're not gonna let the past go. You know, even if they're old successful days, we're not gonna let them go. We are going to incorporate that with the subconscious and the conscious. Everything is gonna be one. The subconscious, the conscious is gonna be one. The past days, even the shitty days, the shitty 90s, 2000s, whatever, all the shitty days I had with all the success, and we're gonna put it all together. We're gonna put it all together. We're gonna include everything, and that's gonna be all in our personality. That's gonna be an everyday life thing. Moving forward, obviously, I changed the way I look. I changed in every way, and that's because, you know, I've been in touch with my subconscious, and I'm just kind of moving into what my genuine form is. Like, this is my genuine form. You know what I mean? So I'm happy being in my genuine form, and moving forward, this is gonna dictate. You know, the future is gonna be dictated by new. You know, everything that's new, but we won't forget the past and we'll take that with us. Anyways, I'm done. I know if, listen, you're not paying anything for it. If you paid even $10 for this, you'd be like, I want my money back. Or you'd say, I'm never watching these videos again. All right, they're free. Just enjoy them.